Happy New Year to you. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. The headlines. Food prices rise by 40% due to continued rise in inflation, with a tray of eggs hitting 55 kwacha. PF's KELVIN SAMPA discourages handout empowerment packages, saying it's not helping. Details coming through after this commercial. Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact +260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Msika, allowing your business to grow. And now the Midday News in detail. Patriotic Front PF National Youth Chairman KELVIN SAMPA says the handout kind of youth empowerment program must be discouraged as it is not sustainable. Mr. SAMPA says focus must be directed at empowering young people with knowledge and skills to effectively better their lives. The PF Kasama Central Member of Parliament made these remarks when he and his counterpart for Lusaka Central, Margaret Manakatwe, visited Njira Youth Skills Training Center in Kalikiliki compound, which is between Munali and Lusaka Central constituencies. Mr. SAMPA expressed happiness that young people at the training center are making efforts to better the lives of other youths, especially women and girls.
Welcome to the year 2021. It's obvious resolutions are being made, but it is also everyone's desire that the year will be better compared to the year 2020, where we witnessed a number of social and economic challenges. Proceeding to the first day of 2021, Njira Skills Youth Training Center in Kalikiliki hopes for a better start to the year as it undertakes its activities of empowering vulnerable girls and women in Kalikiliki compound. The center aims to fight poverty through free vocational skills training to society's most vulnerable. Women are trained in shoemaking and tailoring, among other things. Jafet Chulu, the center coordinator, says they have been struggling to help beneficiaries with capital once they graduate from the center. He made the remarks when the Patriotic Front National Youth Chairman KELVIN SAMPA and Lusaka Central Member of Parliament Margaret Manakatwe visited the facility to understand its challenges and those of the community as part of their New Year celebration.
Empower women in terms of the after training, which we are still, currently having challenges, because after we've trained these women, what happens next? Because we need now to empower them with the after training, which is the materials and probably the sewing machines and some space that they can start running their small businesses and be able to support their families. So those are some of the challenges that we have. Mrs.
Manakatwe is happy with the efforts the organization is making to help women and girls have sustainable livelihoods.
With such little resource. When I hear that you have trained 180 persons coming out of this very humble place, hey, I have to congratulate you. I have to take my hat off for you and say, keep it up. In keeping it up, when you're bringing people from a battered background, an abused background, and giving them a decency of life by training them in some of these things that you're able to do, like toilet bag and hat and shoes. And I'm happy to learn that you're also taking part in wedding dresses. It's very, very humbling.
And Mr. SAMPA says empowering people with knowledge and skills as opposed to handout is critical in bettering their lives. He also donated assorted items and 10,000 kwacha and pledged to address the various challenges the center is experiencing.
Starting from today, I know we've brought in some hampers to help out and to encourage the people that you have been working with, because it's not easy. Every person that leaves home who wants to come and venture into something like this, they expect you to give them something. But one thing that I'm happier giving them is knowledge. And once you equip somebody with knowledge and a skill, that's it. You have empowered them more than enough. And this is the type of empowerment your government has been preaching about. Even I, as the chairperson for the youth, this is what I want to see. Let us not just be giving out handouts. We are not going to help our people. We are going to encourage them to become more lazy. But if we empower them with skills like the way you're doing it, that's the best way we can empower our people.
The people also made their demands known to their visitors.
Na polisi because ija polisi ilikuwa mulipe government school, mulipe government institution, mulipe na tama kili onse muno ni mabampu yeka.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
In other news, the impact of high inflation rate in the country has continued to negatively impact households and small businesses. Items such as eggs, meal, broiler chickens, tomatoes, caterpillars, commonly known as vinkubala, have all seen a sharp rise in their prices. Other essentials whose prices have gone up include vegetables, dry and fresh fish, sugar, cooking oil, milk, butter, sour and rice, among other commodities. Central Statistics Agency Interim Statistician General Mlenga Msepa announced Thursday, 31st December 2020, that inflation rate has surged to 19.2% as projected to remain above the central bank target bond of 6 to 8%. And a check by Camnet News on some businesses in Lusaka has revealed that prices of goods even have shot by almost 40%, making it difficult for traders to sell their merchandise. And some business owners spoken to have told Camnet News that business has been very difficult as customers have reduced buying goods from them due to high prices.
High inflation in the country has continued to impact households and businesses. And what is sad to mention is that many people do not really understand how high inflation affects them. While the central bank has projected that inflation will remain above the target range of 6 to 8% throughout the forecast period, prices of food items has and will continue to step up, affecting a common man whose income has remained the same throughout the year. A check by Camnet News on businesses in some parts of the city has revealed that prices of food items have increased by almost 40%.
So people are fighting, we don't know, dollar yakwera, then even tomato. Tomato in 1 kwacha is about 50 ngwe kwa 1 kwacha. Ukafuta ni chani kama tini because of the dollar yakwera. And a common person doesn't know what a dollar means or whatever. They can't find it for the dollar.
Vindu vyenda pa mwamba. Nivo dula chikanga tomato 1 kwacha imozi. Uzapeza ukagula tomato siku na mndio imozi. Iyo pamela hiyo mkagula wa 10 kwacha tunga tuli 5 2 kwacha wa 10 kwacha. Siku na nzima ngati mina family pa nyumba. Chifukwa cho dula vindu.
One Zambia, one nation, happy new year. Bagay, my potatoes are chiduri, butterflies, big time, customers put venango, batanja ula price. So tupempa government yard, tuteko kubago wachani, piu, speza mkwino, muli malentozi, muli school fees, na ite stapo venango venango.
Sama oda inana idula like green beans yakale wale oda kona 5 kwacha peke. Wale oda ko 5 kwacha package. Wale oda ko 5 kwacha package. Number these days ni 13, 14, 15 kwacha package. Then butter nati. Wale oda pa 10 kwacha package. So if you tunazikula even tomato 250 kutoka on a box ya tomato.
Inflation now stands at 19.2% as reviewed by the Central Statistics Agency Interim Statistician General Msepa Mlenga on 31st December 2020. Now that a new year has come, it is hoped that the economy will stabilize and favor a common man. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV News.
Lundazi residents are wondering why government is not commissioning the district hospital, which has been under construction since 2012 despite its completion. The residents say it is important that the facility is made available to the residents so that it can begin to serve the purpose of its construction. Recently, the residents were complaining about the continued breaking down of the only mortuary in the district. Details in the following report.
Almost 9 years passed since construction commenced on this hospital, but till date, it's not yet completed. Construction on the new Lundazi hospital started in 2012, but it has failed to see progress. The residents of Lundazi district in Eastern Province have lamented over the delay of the project.
Tukwenda usiku tulifume pati kafike kwa tukupulika manta pa biliji para zinthumbo sana muno bana banyake mbadoko banyake mbalala olona bana kuma olona ise kuma tanthu azimai nde chipata chivangu tijulirako kuti nasitibeko pafupi apa akutipusika kama bosa kuti achijulike chijulikenge kaeza para kuyo yapo ndemanga ina iji tukujulika yaye so tukupemva kwa imwe aboma kuti mtu ovwire tavantu takasuzika kuno kwa chifuiti na kwa chinthu takanyenda
pangani ya chipatala kuwa ine edemani chifuiti chipatala chitu ichi chikulu chili kwa chinthuta uku chilizenka makola chomene kwene kuti bajule chibe full time chipatala tifikepo chikujulika yayi zinyengo zikumala vipatala vinyake vilijulika kunyimba walijula kupetauke walijula vipatala vimozapera vikampika nyengo imozapera kwene ichi palije chikuchitika yayi mwa ichi tikupempha kwa kuboma kuti watijulireko chipatala ichi mwalubiro tikusuzika kufuma kuno kuya kuboma usiku kupatala kuboma.
Their hope is to soon see the hospital being open to the public for use of better health care service.
tifuna chipatala kuna mango ya chipatala kwa chinthuta koma chipatala cha menezo wakadosegula so tifuna mtisegulire tavutika maningi chipatala cha chimozi chakudala.
The Lundazi hospital currently the one that where we are accessing our services it's not up to that standard because of the lifespan, I'm sure, because the Lundazi hospital was constructed during the colonial era. So now we are privileged as the district. The government in 2012 started constructing a new hospital based in Chifuiti area. So that hospital, the construction started in 2012. Up to now, the hospital has been opened. I think, according to us communities, the hospital has been completed. If it is not complete, I think there are just few touch-ups here and there that has remained. So all we just want to appeal to the Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Chitaru Chirufya, is to expedite the opening of the hospital.
Meanwhile, Lundazi District Provincial Health Director disclosed that the hospital will soon be completed.
What is taking so long is that the works have not been completed. The ministry has engaged the contractor Mercury Lines, and we've been informed by the contractor that come the 4th of January, he's moving in on site to sort out the snags that were identified. Then after that, he's given himself 14 days to complete. So we hope by end of January, he would have completed the works that are remaining. Once he finishes the work, then he hands over the building to us. So it's the works that have delayed. That's why it's not opened. So we're talking of the first quarter of this year. We should be able to be ready for use as a hospital. But we have to give time to the contractor to finish his job. So it depends how long the contractor will take. For us, we can say we want to open by end of January, but if the contractor hasn't finished, we can't open.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. Food prices rise by 40% due to continued rise in inflation, with a tray of eggs hitting 55 kwacha. PF's KELVIN SAMPA discourages handout empowerment packages, saying it is not helping. That is all. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.